Hello guys, I'm Matt Wang. Today, let's talk about one of my camera collections. Thinking about famous camera brands, you might think of Kodak and Polaroid in the United States, and not Kodak, Nikon and Canon in Japan, and Agfa and Leica in Germany. Well, today we are gonna look at something different. A pretty rare and unique camera was produced in 1980s in China. Well, let's look at some background history knowledge. Well, starting from 1979, China has opened its borders to the rest of the world, and its economy shifted from command economy to a mixed economy. And during that time, many industries shift from producing goods that's commanded by governments to individual brands that sells consumer goods. And for example, this camera was produced by one of the ordnance industry in 1983, and it was a quite successful shift from the ordnance industry to a more industry that produce goods for citizens and the commons. Well, um, so what makes this camera unique is that um, you during 1980s, like for example 1987, which was the year this camera was produced, many countries have fully industrialized and they are pretty advanced in making cameras. For example, Chinese neighbor, the neighbor of China, Japan, they have produced Nikon F3 already in 1983, and it's pretty advanced because Nikon F3 have automatically adjust a light meter that was located in the camera, but uh, whereas this camera, a HUAXIA 821, which I'm going to talk about today, don't have actual light meter and needs to be calculated by the lens and the light by yourself, not by the camera itself. So it's pretty inconvenient for you to use. So let's look at it, shall we? First, this is a showcase of the bag of this camera. Well, the word "HUAXIA" in Chinese means that the word China. Well, it was pretty primarily used by nationalists. Well, let's open it, and you can see the Chinese word here, "HUAXIA." And so, and they are this is the lens, but it can be changed, and it was fixed to the body of the camera. And you can see here, there's a "Made in China" printed on the back of the camera. So let's check it out, shall we? Well, you can see that there's a the lens has like a piece of glass on it, which was produced by Japan, pretty ironically, and that's because of the economic trade between China and Japan at that time. Well, it's pretty rare to see imported goods at that time, actually. And here is the camera. So you can see that if you want to load, this camera is using type 135 film. And if you want to open the camera, you can, damn it, it's pretty hard to open, huh? You can shift this button and pull it, and you will open the back of this camera. And you'll have to put the film inside this place, which I'm pointing at, and put the film, stretch it to here, and then you have to pull this rod, and then you can shoot it. But if you are trying to getting out the film, you'll have to first press this button in the back of the camera. Press this, and well, you have to open this ladder. Oh gosh, it's pretty hard. Well, I've now opened the ladder up. You see here, you have to press here while squeezing this, and until the film was located back in the film box, and then you have to pull that button out, and the back of the camera will open automatically, and you can take the film out of it. And here, which is you can look at the view of the lens when you are trying to shooting a film. Well, here, this is where you can put flashlights, and here is the shutter, which you can press it, and you then can shoot a photo. And if you're trying to lock it, and if you don't want to use the camera, you can just lock the shutter to avoid somebody trying to, a thief trying to maybe pressing your button to film photos. So to prevent those sneaky actions, you can squeeze this shutter to this position. Wait a second. Here, you see that? This position. And therefore, the shutter cannot be pressed, and the rod cannot be pulled. So let's take back. So in here, this small position, you can see how many photos you have been taken. For a typical 135 type of film, you have 36 photos can be taken. And here is the full name of the camera, HUAXIA 821. So let's look at the lens, shall we? So let's look at the place where you can adjust the focus. From here, you can see that this is the nearest, and you can shoot, and this is the farthest, infinite meters. And on the top of here, it's meters, and on the bottom, it's feet. You might use this unit in America, I assume. And also, the second place, it's how can I say that? Well, now I get it. It's the aperture of the camera. You can see that the smallest aperture is 16, and the largest is 2. And the last is the shutter speed. You have the fastest of 1/300 second is the fastest shutter speed. And here is the size of this lens, and it is the production number. Well, so another unique feature is that you can take selfies using this camera. So you have to pull this small thing here to this place, the counter, and then you can press the you can place the camera in a proper position, and you can take a selfie by clicking the shutter. So hearing that click means that you have taken a photo of a selfie. And I think that's all for this camera's introduction. And let's put it back. Well, fun fact, I got this camera from my grandparents, and during that time, it's hard to buy cameras for ordinary citizens. So, and if you want to buy luxury goods, you have to acquire certain tickets from the government. And because my grandparents were professors and work part for the government, this camera was gifted by someone else. Yes. And here's the overlook of it. And that's all for today, and see you in the next video.